Welcome back. The search continues for a missing Texas teen who reportedly jumped from a pleasure vessel around 9:40 p.m. on Wednesday. Police say the 18-year-old male was along with others in the area of Athol Island, that's on the eastern end of Paradise Island, when the incident occurred. Reports are that he was dared to jump. Royal Bahamas Defense Force Harbor Patrol units, along with Royal Bahamas Police Force Marine units, the United States Coast Guard, as well as private vessels, immediately began a search of the area for the teen, however, with negative results. At present, the search continues for the teen as investigations are ongoing. Meantime, 15-year-old Bahamian Kendino Sturb has been found. Police Press Liaison Officer Chief Superintendent Skippings, that's Chrislyn Skippings, informing the media early this morning that the teen, who was reported last seen on May 18th, has returned home safely. 2 females are in hospital nursing injuries sustained as a result of 2 separate shooting incidents, neither of them the intended target. One of the females was shot early this morning. Police say shortly after 1 a.m., 2 females, while at a bar on Minnie Street, were involved in an altercation. As a result, one of them went into a silver Japanese vehicle, retrieved the firearm, and discharged it in the direction of the establishment. Subsequently, a 3rd female, an employee of the establishment who was not involved with the altercation, was shot to both legs. She was transported to the Princess Margaret Hospital by emergency medical technicians for medical attention. Her injuries are non-life-threatening. Prior to this incident, sometime around 2:25 p.m. on Thursday, police were alerted to gunshots in the Bainstown community. A 41-year-old female was shot in the upper torso through Cambridge Street, that's off Nassau Street, when 2 males on a black Krypton motorcycle discharged a weapon at an adult male who was being pursued but eluded the armed suspects. The female victim was taken to Princess Margaret Hospital in a private vehicle. The adult male in this incident is assisting police with the ongoing investigation. Both females are listed in stable condition at this time. Police are appealing to members of the public who may have any information in regards to this or any other criminal incident to contact the Criminal Investigations Department, CID, or Crime Stoppers at 328-TIPS. That's 328-8477. As preparations for the 2023 Labor Day Parade begins and the Labor Day weekend, Bahamas Trade Union Congress, the BTUC President, Attorney Obi Ferguson, says it is time for the government to amend the Employment Act, making it more employee or worker friendly.
In other words, people who work for 35 years employment with a particular company, you can't explain to me or any rational Bahamian that they should only be paid for 26 weeks pay. That just don't make no sense. And that is something we have to change, and I mean change fundamentally. Because you have people working in the hospital and elsewhere. Some of these people work 35, almost 40 years of employment. So if you're making them redundant, how are you going to give them 26 weeks pay as though they only work for 12 years? That don't make no sense.
Mr. Ferguson says although the union is somewhat pleased with the government's commitments made to them, there are some outstanding matters that needs to be addressed.
We are very satisfied that some of the things that the government has agreed to, we have been able to achieve them. In other words, a lot of the collective agreements that were standing for years has now come around and have been executed. There are 1 or 2 things, like I said, the House of Labor. That's one project we have to finalize and get some announcements, hopefully before Labor Day. And we have a lot of pension funds that the president of the union or the secretary of the union are not on those boards. They must sit on those boards so they can know what is going on. Is the workers' money? We agreed to that. That's in the memorandum of understanding we signed with the government. There are some issues.
The union president says outside of those concerns, he is confident that they will be resolved as the government has been receptive to the necessary changes. And finally, the Bahamas ambassador to the United States, Wendell K. Jones, continues to get requests to speak at public and private engagements and appear as guest on various TV and radio talk shows in the United States. His most recent appearance came on a radio talk show on WVON in Chicago with host Perry Small, who asked a wide range of questions during the 13-minute interview, including the Bahamas' relationship with the United States, to which the ambassador responded as follows.
Well, it has been a fascinating relationship. We, as I mentioned to someone last evening, we are like cousins. There was a time when the Bahamians didn't need passports to come to the United States of America. Indeed, even today, Bahamians really do not need visas to come to the United States. You can come on a police record. And so we are just 65 nautical miles east of Florida, and there are many Bahamians who believe that they have a right to go to Miami as Americans.
Oh, wow.
Those in South Florida and elsewhere believe that they have a right to come to the Bahamas at any time. And so we have been wonderful neighbors.
The Vice President of the United States, Kamala Harris, will travel to the Bahamas on June 8th to meet with Caribbean leaders to discuss regional matters. The host also asked Ambassador Jones about the impacts of global warming and building codes here in the Bahamas.
Indeed, our Prime Minister, the Honorable Philip Davis, is one of the leading voices in the world on this whole issue of climate change. We say to the world that in terms of our national debt, about 40% of it is related to climate change and the amount of hurricanes that have destroyed infrastructure in the Bahamas. And so we are calling on the world to pay attention to it and to reduce carbon emissions.
Have you changed your building code? You're going to have to start making changes in how, buildings and other structures are being built.
But let me tell you that the Bahamas has one of the best building codes in the Americas.
Okay.
The Florida building code was really copied from the building code of the Bahamas.
Wow.
You could not get a better building code than that of which we have in the Bahamas.
Asked if he had any final words, Ambassador Jones reminded listeners that the quality of life in the Bahamas is good and that we are proud of our achievements as the Bahamas continues to develop world-class professionals and leaders in many areas, including education, medicine, engineering, technology, science, and sports, just to name a few. And that'll do it for your JCN Evening News. Once again, I'm Jcn Saunders. Thanks so much for joining us.
This segment of the news has been brought to you by Sun Oil Limited.